Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, October 21st, 2015. Ra here in the Lynn-Body-Mind, Black Wolf and Pan in the Jamie-Body-Mind, other teammates in other aspects of the physical dimension, all of us in the physical dimension and in the subatomic levels of the physical dimension from the perspective of the spirit world viewers.
That's true.
We've been getting Nature Realms messages, so Pan is here with us for a short time to see if we can help him get clarity about what it is he's supposed to be doing right now. In addition, both body-minds have multiple symptoms of lack of soul presence, which almost always is about the larger picture, not the smaller picture, but we'll include the smaller picture as well because it is our responsibility. As always, our background intention is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions right now, to manifest the divine plan right now. The data clearly showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart. And with that, it begins. Well, I see something that is from the perspective of what seems to be an ant, but it might be a metaphor for a nature realm's presence.
That's true.
And I see other ants milling around, and I see what somebody told me is the assignment, but that feels like I must have gotten that wrong. Like, that's just impossible.
It doesn't look possible.
There's no way that that is what I'm supposed to do, and so I'll do this instead.
That's true.
But that's not correct. You got it right. You understood the instructions correctly. You're just not far enough along the path. Just keep going toward the assignment, continually asking, how can I do it? What it seems to be happening is you seem to be saying to yourself, well, that's impossible, and so let me find something else to do. And that is an attitude that stops your progress. It's
That's
true. And you won't succeed with that attitude. That is true. With that attitude, you are making it impossible for yourself, but you could choose a different attitude, and you could say, goodness gracious, if that's the assignment, how could I go about it? How could I get started on this? What can I do right now that will head me in that direction so that I can then see what might happen next?
That's true.
Start where we are, use what we have, do what we can. Arthur Ashe. Thank you, Arthur Ashe. What do I know? And they're referring to Arthur Ashe. Arthur Ashe broke a color barrier. I don't know if it was a hard color barrier, but there were not very many African Americans in tennis.
That's true.
It was a white guy's game. And Arthur Ashe broke that barrier. Others may have broken it before him. They're making the go-on signal. These people who go down in history as breaking a barrier, they have done something that wasn't easy and was no doubt scary, and that probably many points along the way they thought, this isn't going to work, but I'm going to die trying.
That's true.
And we see that with any lengthy and challenging endeavor, that's going to be an attitude that occurs to many of us, is this isn't going to work. And then the question is, what do we do with that? That thought can also be used as either excuse or motivation.
That's true.
It's impossible to climb Mount Everest, but I can make it higher than anyone else has.
That's true.
It's impossible to ... but I can make it farther than anyone else has.
That's true.
And so to these ants, I would say, right now you're feeling it's impossible to climb to Shangri-La.
Yes.
And it may be, but maybe you can get higher than anyone else has, and in that way to get your name into the history books.
That's true.
Go for it.
That's true.
But I actually assure you that someone will get there. And why not you? And why not
today?
Now? Yes.
And now the focus is turning to Pan, who is feeling uncertain of what the next step of the process is.
Well, start talking about what you're doing right now, what the current goal is.
Right now it feels like I'm leading a group of Nature Realms beings toward Shangri-La.
Yes.
And I know that once we get there, I'm going to need to clean it up and make necessary repairs. And they're going to need to set up homesteads and create a community. But once that's created, I know I need to do something different, because the last time we did that, everyone just stayed stuck and there was no progress once we had established a place to live.
Yes. And what is the overall purpose of establishing Nature Realm's presence inside of Thing 2 in the projects?
Well, I know the overall assignment is to get Thing 2 to live her soul plan.
Yes. To get her to live her soul plan.
That's true. So that is the purpose of why we're there.
Well, if we aren't present, it's not likely we're going to have an impact.
That's true.
Right? So first things first, to establish presence. But remember, we also had the assignment of getting a two-way highway going.
That's true.
Right?
Yes,
Do you
up
see
and down.
anything like that happening right now?
No.
One of the things we learned during the spirit world's push through Thing 2 is that very often the explorers are the ones who come with us on those early endeavors.
That's true.
And that they aren't really temperamentally suited to be a settler or a cleaner-upper.
That's true.
Now, it's possible that some of these people who came with you came because they want 40 acres and a mule, or whatever the
Right.
Nature Realm's equivalent is.
That's true.
And for those who want that, this is the place for them to have it. This
That's
is
true.
a good place for them to have it.
Oh, definitely.
But are any of your followers in this group explorers at heart?
Yes.
Well, why not, after the settlers have gotten going in settling, take the explorers and continue up the cables? Make it to the Black Wolf Point, for example,
That's true.
and set up another settlement there.
That's true, and continue upward.
And continue upward. Just as the spirit world had its chance to take the whole pillar
That's
for
true.
Thing 2, the Nature Realms right now has its chance to take the whole pillar for Thing 2 for the Nature Realms, right?
That's true.
Because I don't see any spirit world action going on here right now. I could
No.
be missing it.
No, I don't see any.
No. So play, the ball is in your court. That doesn't mean we're holding back. We're busy in Thing 1. And when we get enough going there, then we'll switch to Thing 2.
That's true.
But right now we're busy there. Now you have Garth with you, and he's a spirit world presence, and he's been running the cables, and I feel like he's a little offended
That's true.
that I have discounted his contribution. And Garth, I'm sorry. That was wrong of me.
That's true. Your contribution has made a real difference.
Garth, I hope you forgive me. Souls are moving back and forth and around from body to body, and that, combined with the extremely poor eyesight that comes from channeling out of a physical form, means that I do overlook people pretty consistently. And Garth, correct me if I'm wrong, you've seen me never even get people's names sometimes. Well, there's someone here, I can feel them, they don't feel unfamiliar, but I can't tell who they are, and
That's
if they're
true.
still here tomorrow, I'll try harder.
That's
And then
true.
they're gone tomorrow, so there was, that wasn't a bad call, that was the correct thing to do.
That's true. To use the valuable resource of time and energy wisely.
Right. So I hope that you are a big enough man to forgive me for that.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny.
Because he's so big.
He's big.
He feels okay. I don't feel any offended
Right.
bubbles.
So Pan, what do you feel the assignment is?
Pan here. I feel like the assignment is to get this group of Nature Realms presences up to Shangri-La, to clean up Shangri-La, to put it back into good working order, establish a community around Shangri-La, and then to gather a group of explorer types and continue up through Thing 2 and continually establish a Nature Realms presence higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
Eventually creating a two-way highway is the goal,
Yeah.
but at least a one-way highway, that I have responsibility for.
Yes. And Garth, your contributions make a big difference. They really do, because running the cables at a consistent pace for a really long time clears the air to the point that souls can breathe without strain and therefore can think a little more clearly if they wish to, if they choose to.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pan, do you feel your question has been answered?
Yes, I feel much more stable now.
I know how hard it is to be moving on when our friends are not coming with us, especially the ones who are definitely supposed to and who we knew, quote unquote, were going to do it, and they still aren't doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we know that that's on your plate right now. Do you feel that you're working with that with a good attitude, using that as motivation rather than as excuse?
No, I think I have a pretty bad attitude about it.
Who shall I talk to about this?
Me. I guess I just haven't figured out how to think about it yet. How do I think about this in a way that is helpful?
Well, when we turn around and wait for loved ones who aren't coming,
yes,
what typically happens is that when we turn around and look at them, they sit down or even start waving at us to come back to them or even start backing up.
That's true.
It doesn't ever work to turn around and look at the loved ones who aren't coming, but we do find that if we just keep going, while every now and then ringing a bell or sending out a signal that says, it would be really great to have you here, having
That's
a great time, wish you were here.
That's true.
That sometimes they come along and sometimes they don't. But to keep going is the only thing that seems to even stand a chance of getting them to come with us.
That's true.
Does that
now
help?
I feel better. I feel less tearful about it.
What they're showing is out of the library of the Lynn life.
Yes.
When she sent Christmas cards for 20 years.
That's true.
To a brother-in-law who her sister had divorced.
Yes, that's true.
I'm still here. I'm still your sister.
And I still love you.
And I still love you.
I'm here now.
And it doesn't matter if you don't answer me back. I still love you.
I can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Pan, one more thing that's really helpful. I can feel the pain in the heart. To just draw it out. Hello, my old friend Pain. Thank you for being such a loyal companion. Watch me do it anyway. And draw it out like we would a trauma, and hand it up, and draw in the soul fragments that have gotten lost behind it. This is a trauma. Losing loved ones is a trauma that comes when we are committed to keeping our word and our loved ones are not committed to keeping their word.
That's true.
It's a self-care technique that you can do by feel even when you don't have conceptual awareness of what the trauma is. You can do it by feel. Just like running screens. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Will that help?
Yeah.
I love you, Pan.
I love you too.
I'm a friend of yours. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Pan, this is the Lynn life, and I'm here for you too. That was Ra, and this is me. We're both here for you.
I'm here for you, Pan. This is the Lynn-Body-Mind. And I, Black Wolf, am here for you, Pan.
You don't have to look backward at the friends who aren't coming. You can look forward to the friends who are in fact already ahead of you. And you can beat us if you can. And I hope you do.
That's true. Hey, Pam.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is helpful, but it might be. If in the moment to moment you feel lost and confused like you did earlier this morning,
Yeah.
you can always just go back to what now in such a way as to provide a
The thing is, I
collective.
just can't hear the answers right now. They're just not coming in. And
That makes sense. You're in a clogged place.
Yeah,
It's hard to hear anywhere.
it's hard to hear anything. It's like
That's
working
true.
where there's huge crashing noises all the
That's
time.
true.
Like It's impossible to hear quiet sounds, so
That's
thank you
true.
for helping me figure it out. I'm just dropping down. I'm going down through Frontier.
Oh, got
It's
it.
like, oh, this is nice. I like what you've done with the place.
Yeah.
It looks good. I can see that you're drilling down below Frontier. I see that. It looks good. Good for you.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm out.